Hey there guys, welcome to the next tutorial here on the DuctTapeStuff channel. Came up with a new wallet design that I wanted to teach you how to make in this tutorial. It's kind of going to be like a the police like ID kind of wallet. It's going to flip open like this, and obviously we're going to be putting some stuff into it. I contemplated calling it the flip wallet, but I actually made a wallet on the channel called the flip wallet, so I can't really call it that. So I'm just going to call this the police wallet, because it's kind of like how you see in movies where they have like their badge or something on the inside here. So we're going to be adding to this, and I'll show you how to make this wallet here. So let's get started here on the tutorial. So for our first step, we have to make these two pieces and then connect them together with a strip on the top. So what we're going to do is cut out 4 strips of tape that are 4 3/4 inches long. You can probably go to 5 inches if you want to. I'm just going to go to 4 3/4 because it works for me. So we have 4 of those strips here. We're going to take our first 2 and stick them together just like that, right on top of each other. Then we're going to take our third one and apply it so that it has a total height here of 3 inches. So I got my 3-inch mark down here. So this whole piece is going to be 3 inches high. So we got that on. Now I just need to take this piece and cover it up just like this. And then what you're going to do is cut out 4 more of these strips, however long you want to make them, and then do the exact same thing so that we have 2 of these pieces that we're going to connect together. So there are 2 identical pieces. Make sure you do any trimming to make sure that they're exactly the same. One strip that is 3 inches long will connect the 2, obviously. So pick which side you want to do this. Just lay it down on top and then simply stick it on right there. Now we're going to work on throwing some stuff into the wallet here. So the first thing we're going to work on is where the money goes. Now there's not going to be any billfold on this wallet. I'm going to be using the same technique that I used in the flip wallet, which was kind of a pocket for the money, and then it flips and folds into kind of like a band. So we're going to be working on that same part for this. So we're going to cut out 2 strips of tape that are 3 inches long, and we're going to be putting like a pocket right down here. So here are 3 3-inch strips. First 2 get stuck together just like that. No problems there. Third one gets stuck halfway down here, and this is just going to connect it to the bottom of this piece here. So we're going to flip that over like this. Make sure that is nice and stuck on there, just like that. I have 2 other strips of tape over here. These are just going to, cover up this piece here and wrap it around to the back. And that's going to effectively create the pocket here. And this is just part of the holder for the money. We also need a band, which I'm going to show you how to do in just a second. That'll be our next step. To make the band, it's really simple. I just cut out a piece of strip of tape that's 3 inches long, cut that strip in half, and then what we're actually going to do is just fold this piece in half, right about there. So there's the band. We're going to leave that right about there, and we're going to just connect it a little bit below the pocket here. If you guys watch the flip wallet tutorial, you're going to already know how to do this because it's exactly the same technique. So that gets wrapped on the back there. Now what you want to do for this piece, don't actually attach this flat like you did with the pocket. You kind of want to just pinch this up a little bit so it kind of just opens up like a band, and that'll allow the money to kind of slide in there a little bit better. It should be big enough that the money will fit even if you pop it out a little bit. So that's how it works like that, and I'll show you how the money goes in if you haven't seen how that works yet. Tuck the money like that, and then this money here, this part of the bills, just get tucked under just like that, and then you fold it right about there. So that's how it holds the money in the police wallet here. So that takes care of the part of the wallet where the money is actually going to go. Now we're going to work on some of the credit card holders. Now these are going to be vertical credit card holders, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that real quick. You want to line up your credit card here and just make it a little bit shorter than the credit card. And I have 3 strips here. First 2 of them are going to be stuck together just like this. And our third one is actually going to be split in half, and that's going to save a little bit on tape here. So I've got this piece which is cut in half. And now we just need to measure. We want it to be a little bit bigger than the credit card here, so we're going to go just the slightest little bit over. Just like that. Flip this over, and then we're just going to cover up the rest of the sticky side with this other piece. And this will be the bulk of our vertical card holder. When you're ready to attach the card holder to the wallet, just cut out a strip here for the sides. I'm going to cut that in half. So we have one part over here. Use the other piece for this side. And of course our next piece will be for the bottom, which will be right over here. And this will completely seal the card holder into the wallet. We're obviously going to leave this part open up here. So decide where you want it on your your police wallet here. If you're adding a whole bunch of these, you always want to start at the top and then apply them onto each other. So let's say I want it to be right about there. Stick it all the way down. It's probably going to wrap a little bit around the edges. That's going to be okay. It's going to give it a nice rounded edge on the sides. No problem there. And there we have our vertical card holder right there. And of course you can stick a whole bunch of these into the wallet here, depending on how close you put them together. If you want to make an ID holder, it's pretty much the same principle. You get your clear plastic here, which I'm going to be using. We have our two pieces here, which are just going to attach on the sides. You don't want to stick too far onto the clear plastic piece, because otherwise that'll conflict with what you're putting in there. You won't be able to see quite as much of it. So you just want to come in just a little bit on the sides, just enough that it definitely sticks onto the plastic piece. Of course, this is the bottom piece here. Now we need to decide where we want to put it on our police wallet here. So if I have the, this will probably be the front of it here, so I'm going to put this on the back. Should be right about there. This is definitely going to be flipping around a little bit. It kind of determine where you want to put it. What I can do, since this would, interfere with the spot where the money goes, I'm just going to trim off this piece here and on the other side, and then I'll be able to work with that. You always want to keep in mind when you're doing this where you're folding the pieces over, because if you do fold them over without looking, you might end up conflicting with whatever you have in the wallet. So you can, if you go right to the edge, you're not going to have that problem at all. So there's the ID holder. Stick it in here. I'll show you what it looks like. Just a really simple ID holder right there on the back of the police wallet. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this tutorial on the police wallet. Needless to say, you can customize this a ton of different ways depending on what you need it to do. You can put a whole bunch of credit card holders in it. You can modify the way that it holds the money a little bit if you want to. You could even turn it into a little bit of a billfold if you want it to actually have a billfold as well. So a whole bunch of different ways that you can modify it. Here's just a couple example of things you can do. Like here's a Hello Kitty one that I made, kind of experimenting with different characters and colors. Here's a one from the this is actually from V for Vendetta. This is actually the logo of the police in V for Vendetta. And here's pretty much the exact same design. It's got the money clip or belt down here, two credit card holders, a little bit of stylized on the top there. It's got an ID holder in the back, and just a whole bunch of cool ways that you can experiment with this and really come up with a bunch of cool ways to do it. And it's definitely a totally customizable wallet. You can do it in pretty much any way you want to. Alright, so I think that about does it for this tutorial on the police wallet. Once again, I call it the police wallet because it's kind of like the stylized wallets that the police carry their badges in, and kind of the stuff that you see on TV shows and stuff like that. Usually the police wallets actually flip out like this, like a book. These actually flip out kind of like a notepad or a detective's pad or something like that. But you guys get the idea. I had to name it something, of course. So there's just some examples of what you can do, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Catch you next time on the channel.